Hi everybody, this is Matt Palumbo, and no, don't adjust your TV screens. I know many of you out in HCTV land are used to seeing me or hearing my voice doing Friday night football for our great hometown Explorers. Today we're going to do a little bit different, have an opportunity to meet some gentlemen who are running for school board here in Hudson in the election coming up in early November. Opportunity to spend some time with Matthew Clapper, Mark Justice, and Matt Romano and hear from them directly their vision about Hudson schools, why they're running, and give you an opportunity to just hear more about their plan. So with that, we'll get started. We're going to start with Matthew Clapper, candidate, and many of you too that tune in on Friday night will know the name Clapper. He's had a couple of kids, number 65 on this year's team, right? Jake Clapper, I believe, right?
Yes.
That's having a great season. So welcome to Hudson Community Television. Great opportunity.
Thank
for you to share some of the things about you.
Yeah,
and let's just kick it off right. Yeah, it's great to be here, and thanks for coming in. Just give you an opportunity, Matthew, to tell the folks a little bit about you and your time here in Hudson.
Perfect. Yeah. So I've been, my wife and I have been residents for 17, going on 18 years. Our children have all grown up here. They started in kindergarten, pre-kindergarten. Matthew, my oldest, just graduated last year. He played on the offensive line right next to Jake last year, his senior year. And he just graduated this past June. But he started in kindergarten and went every year through 12th grade here in Hudson schools. Jake started in kindergarten as well. He's now a junior, doing really well in school and playing, as you mentioned, playing football for the Explorers and looking forward to wrestle this winter for the Explorers. My daughter, my youngest, also started again at kindergarten, and now she is a freshman. So she is just starting the high school experience, really enjoying it so far. She was a little bit nervous coming into the big high school, right? As in middle school, you go through 8th grade and you're kind of the big kid in the school, and then you're back to the bottom again,
yeah.
Coming as a freshman. But
and your kids are big; they're not.
Yes.
Thankfully, I know Coach Goff likes that, so that's great.
Yeah, we were never short on size. You can just ask Jake. Jake will tell you about that, which is all right. But yeah, they've really enjoyed their experience here in Hudson. Love the community. The community is phenomenal. It's kind of like our extended home,
Sure.
Our extended family, really. We just love our neighbors. Just great friendships that we've had since first moving into the community. The kids have had, developed great friendships through the schools, and even starting in preschool. It's just our whole family and history have been here, so it's been great.
Sure. Well, good. And I know, obviously, public service is such a commitment. Anybody who runs for office, my hat is off to them because of the time commitment.
Sure.
So one of the things I always wonder, and really, is why. So why are you doing this? Why are you running for school board?
Well, I guess we've certainly received a lot from the community, from the schools itself. We want to. Personally, I'd like to continue the tradition of excellence. I mean, there is a gentleman retiring from the school board this year, so I'm running for an open position. And it's an opportunity for me to help kind of continue the high expectations that our community really enjoys from our schools. If it's one thing that I've learned, not surprisingly, but just reinforced over and over in my outreach to the community during this campaign, is that Hudsonites are really proud of our schools. They want high performance, high academic performance. High performance in activities, sports, athletics, with the band, the music program. Hudson is really proud of, its schools, and so, I'm here to continue that tradition of excellence, improve on it if I can, and I think we can, and basically, continue to provide for our students the, what Hudson has historically given to us.
Great, and I know from my experience in talking to folks, everybody wants great schools in Hudson. I mean, that's why
Right.
My wife grew up here. We've put 6 kids through the schools. And so people move here, right? So it's a treasure for us, and I think it's just a different approach on
Yeah.
to
Community.
yeah, the community, right. So it's definitely one of the great things about Hudson. So I had a chance, not a lot of time, because we put this together pretty quick, but looked at some of your literature, and one of the things I saw, and I wanted to ask you about it, is back to the basics. Like, what is that? What do you mean by that when you say back to the basics?
Sure. So it's simply the core of it is refocusing a little bit on just the priority of academics, making sure that the fundamentals are well addressed, well covered, all the way from kindergarten all the way through 12th grade, and that's something that it's really important. Historically, we've done that. Maybe slid a little bit. If you look at the state rankings, we're down slightly over the past 9-10 years.
I saw that. I was surprised to see that. But yeah.
Right. And I think most residents would be surprised that we've slipped a little bit. Not a lot, but it's a trend we can reverse. Again, focusing at the elementary school level, early learning, early math, early reading, early writing can really, I think, provide the foundation. Small corrections there can provide a foundation that translates into the middle school and the high schools, and gets us back to, for instance, the top 10 ranking in the state of Ohio, and even better.
Right.
So yeah, that's one of the goals. For the idea behind getting back to the basics is simply refocusing on what Hudsonites really enjoy out of their schools is the academic excellence. I spoke to one gentleman who lives down the street from me. He was just delighted with the schools because his daughter had come out of Hudson School and was very well situated when she went to college. And a lot of residents, feel that way, and they love the fact that the school system here supports the kids, gets them ready, and that's something that we're going to continue and, like I said, improve upon. The idea is really to make sure that the policies that the board sets are helping the teachers in the classroom so that the kids are getting the best that they can get and reaching their full potential.
Right. I look, I'm a competitive guy. There's a lot of competitive people in Hudson. I think it's just the nature of the community, which is good, right? So I don't care if it's the band or football or obviously sports, co-curricular, extracurricular. We want to be great at everything. And when you see those rankings, it's something like, hey, and we can definitely, and we need to turn it around. And I think the back to the basics is, I get it. I think there's so many distractions right now for kids out there, just on the outside world. And people talk about the, we laugh about it, the old Hudson bubble, right? I'm sure you've heard that. Right?
Sure.
The bubble. Sometimes the bubble's good, right?
Sometimes it's good.
We can keep and start to refocus and turn things around. So. One of the other things on your literature too that is the fiscal responsibility, transparency type thing. I don't know if you want to talk a little bit about that.
I think everybody wants to be confident that their finances are being well cared for, well managed, being put to the classroom where they're going to be the most effective for the students. Number one, being put to the activities that the students gain a lot of enjoyment out, and really that help them form their identity and kind of reinforce what they're doing in the classroom. A lot of our coaches and like the band directors, they help focus on academics. There's kind of like if you will, like almost like a check and balance where we're going to put our time down on the ball field or whatnot, but we're going to check and make sure and kind of help guide your academics as well, and that's really great. But at the same time, I think the community deserves a school board that's just as diligent with their finances as the school is with our students. We should know that we're getting the best money for our dollars, that they're going where the community wants the school as an institution to go, and so if I had maybe one minor criticism for the leadership at the school now, it's hard to see how they're spending the money. It's not very transparent. They'll tell you what they need and they'll tell you what they've got, but they won't show their work. they're not very good at showing their work, right? And so, and again, that's an easy to fix. You know, it's just kind of doing the diligence to just basically expose the budgets to the community simply so that they're confident. You know, they can easily look at that and say, yep, that's, you know, what I want is where my dollars are going. And, you know, I think we can increase the support, you know, for finance in the schools simply by opening up the, you know, allowing people to see how the budget works, and then, you know, they have the confidence that their money's being well spent. And that goes a long way in a community, I think, particularly a local community.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. I think that makes sense to me. I mean, one of the great quotes that I love, and the folks out there, I apologize. There's another football analogy, so
hey,
I just can't
right.
get away from
Football's
it. But,
in my heart too.
A great quote by Woody Hayes, the great Ohio State coach, is he always said, "You win with people," right? Yeah. And when I think of our experience in Hudson with 6 kids, and I just think of the teachers that have impacted my kids' lives, every single one of them, all the way from you know, their time when they were at Evamere and now at the high school. I mean, everything in between. So I think we've got to let these teachers. We have to support our teachers. Let our teachers teach, right? I think is the most important thing.
Yes.
And let them do their job because they're good at what you do. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, that's a key. I mean, that's an essential key. You know, from a leadership perspective, I think that the board really needs to have an open door with our teachers, because they're the ones on the ground, they're the ones in the classroom dealing with students every day. And they're going to be, you know, if there's a change in course that needs to be, you know, minor or whatever, they're going to see it. They're going to see it. They're going to recognize it. And so, you know, having that open door to make sure that the teachers can give that feedback to leadership, so that the policies, the school policies, are, you know, supporting from above what the teachers are seeing in the classroom. You know, that's really an institution that you want. That's an organization that's functioning healthily. You know, where, you know, it's the school's policies are assisting the teachers in the classroom to basically to deliver on the promise of academic excellence, right? And so, you know, there should be a partnership between the board at the leadership level and the teachers in the classroom to deliver on that promise, you know, to make sure that every student is cared for, to make sure that every student is getting the best education and realizing their full potential. Another point that you know, I strongly support is, you know, parents need an open door into their child's education. So that way, you know, the instruction that the teachers are providing in the classroom is well reinforced around the dinner table with mom and dad. You know, and you know, I'm sure you know, kids come home in the evening with classroom. You know, if they're having a little bit of trouble with math or reading, you can sit down and help them out and work with them. And, you know, sometimes it's just that relationship between, you know, the parents kind of helping the kids out at home and what the teacher is trying to, you know, direct from the curriculum. When there's a synergy between the parents and the teachers, you know, the children really get their education kind of, you know, reinforced from the classroom at home, and it just helps to make a more permanent, you know, memory in their mind. And, you know, I think, you know, for my kids, definitely, that has been, you know, just one of the hallmarks of success. For instance, my son Jake is a brilliant kid. He's taken calculus already in high school, and you know, a lot of that's simply because he can see, you know, he gets it in the classroom. You know, I have a graduate degree in physics, so I did my years of calculus in high school and in college very similarly, and I can help reinforce that at home. And so having teachers or having parents an opportunity to work with the teachers to reinforce what they're doing in the classroom, I think that's, you know, one of the, you know, something that Hudson's been very good at, and that we're going to continue at, and make sure that open door is available for the parents who know their kids best. That's great. And what I hear you saying, I think, Matthew, is it's all about cooperation. Have that parent involved. Let the teachers teach, right? And then the other thing too, and we're running out of time, is I keep hearing again, not necessarily, you don't want the funding for the schools. You want to direct that money into the classroom where it's going to reverse those test scores and let those teachers do their thing, right? So I want funding for the best professionals, right? Right. But that needs to go to the classroom, and like I said, the community wants to know that we're being diligent with their finances,
Sure.
right? Some people are numbers people, other people just want to know somebody's careful with the numbers, and that's what I want to make sure that
Sure.
we're doing, show them what we're careful with the numbers, and that we're giving the teachers the resources they need in the classroom so that we can succeed.
Hey,
Yeah.
great stopping in. Appreciate you coming in and
Oh, it's been a
sharing
pleasure.
sort of the vision. Good luck. So we're going to bring in Mark Justice here in a few minutes, but thanks for tuning in. This is Matthew Clapper, candidate for Hudson School Board.